morning.
Megan is already here. Megan, you're the best.
Is our girl.
Seriously, thank you so much. Who else is here? Sound in. We'd love to see who else is on right now. So
absolutely, especially those that are. Especially those that are, because a lot of our usuals, they already know about the summit, so they're super excited for our guests today. They're excited for us to chat. But for those of you that don't know us, hi everybody. I'm Sami Zoss with the Human Stack, run by this guy.
Lockie. I'm Tim Lockie, also with the Human Stack, and I'm calling in from Bozeman, and you're calling in from
South Dakota today, Sioux Falls.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like we just never know where we're going to catch you.
I'm on my way to Colorado tomorrow.
Okay,
next week I'll be in the state capital. It's great.
If you started speaking, like if you showed up for this one day and you were live giving a presentation on site somewhere, that would not surprise me. I would see you like not only trying that, but pulling it off.
Look, I'm a dedicated girly. I don't know what to tell you.
Paige, hi. Oh my gosh, it's great to see you here.
Well, Paige is new. Who's Paige? Tell us about
Paige and I go way back to my Salesforce days.
Paige, I think you called you old. I'm so sorry.
No, I did not. I said way back. That's different.
Yeah, but way back for you is kind of way
my gosh. You just can never, you are always finding a way to call me old. Whether it's my eyesight or, I'm sorry, Paige. You don't deserve any of that. Paige
I agree.
Has worked for other consultancies, worked at Salesforce, is kind of a legend in the space. So I'm really excited to see you on. Thank you so much for joining.
Ooh, that means a lot coming from you. I love that.
Yeah. No. So we're here.
Yes, we have a special guest today.
We're gathered.
Before we get to our special guest, can I just say I had a re-meet of a colleague that I've sort of known in the sphere for a little bit, but she and I had a meeting that was supposed to go half an hour and it lasted like an hour and a half. And she said that she listens to us on her walks.
What?
Which I'm like, awesome. Oh my gosh, Mama, we've made it. But I told her that, what did she say? She said something about like, there was an episode where she was literally laughing out loud on her walk with us. And that's like people next to her were like looking at her like she's crazy. And she's like, oh, that's funny. Says it out loud. And I'm like, that's beautiful. I love it so much. So shout out to Lucy Ruiz, who I believe is based in Toronto. She runs that Sentinel Consulting, which we've talked about before. Just awesome in the space.
Of course, from Toronto.
I know.
Every year I just meet more cool people from Toronto. I keep wondering if it's a sign. So anyway, Lucy, thanks for listening to us. And even more, thanks for laughing and even more out loud. Like I feel like that's a win.
And not even at us, with us. She said it's funny.
People don't always confess if they're laughing at or with. I have learned this over my, as you would point out, long life. So there we go.
I mean, look, she says. Okay, but you know who's not old? Our guest today, because she's wonderful and beautiful and all things amazing that is in the AI space for nonprofit. Do you want to tell the fans a little bit about our guest, Jen Lau? I say it wrong every time. Tim gave me a cheat sheet for it. Do you want to tell Jen? You guys can't see it. She's laughing at us in the background right now. In the
it should be
whatever
so easy for you to remember because it's Lau and you are loud. So I feel like that is rhymes
it's just
loud.
like only one of us can be loud. And so I can't give it to her. I don't know. But anyway, I hope everyone can give a warm welcome. I'll let Tim talk about how awesome Jen and Fundraising AI are. But while we do that, everybody say hello to Jen.
Hi, Jen. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
I like this morning energy.
Oh, yeah. We are morning people. Like there's no, not with a U, just with an O. No U in there. And I'm also a night person though. Like I'm both. I feel sorry for anyone married to me. Which is just one person to clarify. She is, yes. Anyway, Jen, we are so happy to have you. I thought that there was an intro sound that we would be accompanying you.
Are you ready? So I told everyone I had another surprise.
I'm like dying here.
Okay, Jen, what you don't know is usually when we have wonderful things to announce, like our wonderful guests, I'm like, bow, 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 bow. And Tim thinks it's hilarious. I get that. I can't take credit. If you listen to a podcast called Two Hot Takes, which is this awesome group of people that read Reddit stories, totally not related to what we do at all, but she does that because I don't know if they just didn't get their sound machine working or what. But Tim thought it was hilarious. And yesterday I was wandering a store and I found this little thing.
It is bizarre how happy that makes me. Like, it is weird, but anyway, it makes me really happy. Jen, welcome to the show. We do not plan on letting you say anything. We're just going to invite you and then just talk the entire time. No, we're so happy to have you. Yes.
Perfect.
Okay. For those that don't know Jen Lau.
Sorry, Jen told us in the background that it rhymes with wow, and for some reason that is way easier to remember than Lau, like loud.
I feel like that speaks to self-awareness. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Okay.
If
you don't know Jen Lau has been in the tech industry forever and has done a wild amount of things. This is the thing I find so interesting is cybersecurity, nonprofits, and AI. That is a great lineup. So there's a lot of content to talk about there. I feel like those two must lend such an important view of how important not just AI is to nonprofits, but the security side and responsible use side as well. So thank you so much for joining us.
I can't believe I get to make the cut.
Oh yeah. We love having you on here.
The first like non-regular that we're like, we need her on. She's got to talk. So here's your crown.
Oh, that's right, isn't it? Oh, yes. Well, it totally makes sense. And for those of you that don't know, the Fundraising AI Summit is next week. It is not free. It is not. You are not paying anything because sponsors have paid for you. And I feel like that reality just hit me last week on how important sponsors are for that. So to all of our sponsors, thank you. And we're really excited that this is free to nonprofits because of sponsors. It's probably the right way to say it. So Jen, thanks for leading that endeavor. Thanks for setting all of this in motion. I cannot imagine how you found the time to join us this morning, given how much is on your plate. And I don't even want to think about your inbox, but thank you for joining us.
No, thank you for having me. It is a crazy time. We are less than 1 week out, but it's all about prioritization, Tim. I'm prioritizing being with you all this morning, and I'm very happy about it.
Honored. So smooth.
So diplomatic.
Oh my gosh. I would like to tell you I'm busy and that you're a priority in one sentence. Like, nicely
in a way that doesn't make me feel like it was a little snarky. Like, it was good.
I know. It was very good.
From the bottom
I've never been able to pull that off. He's always snarky.
So. It's kind of my thing. It's a personal brand. Yeah. Okay. I have a couple of questions for you. Mm-hmm. What are you most excited about from Fundraising AI Summit? And I know that you're so polite, you won't say when it's over, because I'm sure that you have those feelings every now and then. And we all understand that and offer our empathy. But besides that, what else are you excited about?
Hey, can we point out?
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know that we noted that Jen is the director of Fundraising AI.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Skipped over that.
I think I totally forgot to say that.
We're like, she's so impressive. We're so excited to have her. Hey, Jen, talk to us about this summit. Jen, why don't you give us a little bit of an overview of your role with FAI?
Yes, please.
What do you do?
My role? Yeah, happy to. I'm the director of Fundraising AI. I work really closely with our founders, Nathan Chappelle, Mallory Erickson, some incredible folks on our advisory council, which you can go to our website and see. But I work really closely with that team to really shepherd and steward the direction of Fundraising AI. We got started in 2023 really as like a grassroots movement, put together our very first summit in just a few months, which in retrospect is pretty impressive. We're pat on the back for that. And then we hosted a summit last year, and we hosted a summit. We're hosting our summit next week, obviously. So that's our premier event that happens once a year. Like Tim said, it is free to attend. And that is so core to our ethos at Fundraising AI. Every resource we make available, we make session recordings available, we make our podcast episodes obviously available, different resources from folks in this sector. All of that is free to access, and we try to make it as accessible as possible. So huge thanks to the sponsors who make this all possible. This year, we're teaming up with our presenting sponsors, Virtuous and Giving Tuesday, who have both been longtime sponsors and partners. Obviously, Giving Tuesday is a partner of ours, but they've both been instrumental in making sure this year's summit is possible, and also one of the best summits that we've had to date. So I'm really excited because I think what we've done this year is take the lessons from previous years and really apply them, take the feedback that we've heard, take the things that we've learned, and really say, how do we make 2025 Summit as directly relevant and meaningful and a value add to folks who are really busy and have a lot on their plates. So this year we have broken everything out into really cool sessions. We have a couple learning tracks. And we have the ability, if you go into our platform, if you register and go into our platform, you can actually pick which sessions are most interesting to you and add them directly to your calendar. This is the first year that we have had that capability technically, and it's awesome. Pick and choose the sessions that relate most to you, jump in, see what you need to see. Would love to see you at another session, but if your schedule doesn't allow, that's totally fine too. So making things really accessible is maybe the core of Fundraising AI's ethos right now.
Absolutely. I do want to say at some point, so while Tim and Jen and myself a little bit are talking here, I'm actually going to try and vibe code a little like Summit Navigator using some of the tools that we've talked about in our season so far. So Jen, we've covered a lot of the Gemini tools because we know this is specific for nonprofits and their business plan is 75% off for nonprofits. Their regular plan is actually free for nonprofits. And so trying to show all of the different ways you can use AI at an organizational wide like enablement approach. So I figured what better way to like demonstrate that than to like on the fly try and take some information that we have out there and vibe code. So you may see me share the screen on and off. But one thing I'd like to do also on screen share, and Tim, maybe I'll prep this up while you guys are chatting a little bit, is actually show the schedule. And Tim and I can kind of go through and talk about some of the sessions we know. Jen, if there's one you want to flag, obviously, like you said, all of them are amazing. I'm so grateful I get to watch them again. But like, I know Tim's got one, Tim and Dan have one, and like, I plan to go in and just hunt the chat. Like, I'm so excited to just like, A, troll a little bit, but then B, also, I told Tim, I was like, you guys are not allowed to run the chat because I know you both and you're never going to get your session done if you pay any attention to that. So let me do it. I'll answer questions for you and I will make sure you follow up as you need. But I'll make sure we go through that. And then we also do a little bit of a deep dive homage to our sponsors because we've highlighted them a little bit sort of on the fly as we've done our promos here on AI4AnyoneLIVE. But I think it's really important that we do look at, I love that you called out the what do they call the presenting sponsors?
Presenting partners, yeah.
Presenting partner. I mean,
we're
really
so lucky
for their, and I tagged them in the LinkedIn as well. Like, I want to make sure that everyone knows that it is these organizations that are making it happen. And so I just kind of want to give everyone the lay of the land of this episode. It is sort of a Tim and Jen are going to take the lead. And then I'm going to sort of pop in on screen share on and off as I do with, I want to be able to show them that schedule feature. I kind of forgot you were going to talk about that. And I want to be able to actually pull that up because that is such a nice thing to have. Because God knows I think about all the things I want to do in a summit. And then I'm like, whoa, what does it fit in my schedule? Or like different time zones, all that stuff. This just makes it so much easier for us. So thank you so much for coming on. I know I've got some questions on and off as well, but I'm going to let Tim kind of take it away to get it kicked off while I get started on the Summit Navigator over here. So Tim, I'm going to try and share my screen. And if it feels like it's taking over too much and we can't see you guys enough, I may unshare. But
okay, that's fine. I'm going to let you decide on that. So like, I'm just going to pop up wherever you put us on the screen. That's fine.
I love it.
Something that you said that I think is really critical to understand, and it has been an ethos from the very beginning, is that this is not a gatekeeping body. In fact, this is one of, it's in alignment with Giving Tuesday's core ethos of distribution rather than gatekeeping. And not just distribution, but creating tools that allow networks to expand the work on their own. I just think that it's such an important way of understanding how fundraising AI came to be and continues to be. From the framework all the way to the summit is just continued to be, let's gather around this topic and this idea and this technology, and let's move it into the space in a way that's helpful.
Absolutely. And I think with the summit, especially, there's no one size fits all for the summit. We recognize that everybody is at different points in their AI journeys. Some folks, a couple years ago, we had a lot more folks who were just starting out, just getting curious. This year, we're seeing a lot more folks who have dabbled, gotten their hands a little dirty, maybe joined some AI for Anyone's, and they're learning and their questions are shifting. And so I think one of the really interesting things, I love how Sami freezes that like really opportune poses.
I'm working on it. All right.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, but our goal is to collect all this resources, all this knowledge and this expertise, and make it freely and easily accessible to folks. These are many people that you pay to go to a conference and see them speak and learn from them. And what they're doing and joining us is actually saying, this is bigger than, having to go in and go to a conference and speak for 30 minutes. This is actually something I want to make globally available. And that's very much core to what we're doing.
Yeah, and not just during the event, but this is come back and consume the content later. Every year's content is like that. And I feel like that. And then it's easy to miss just how many headliners are part of the advisory team for Fundraising AI, which is really interesting. And it really is a working body where advisors really do advise in multiple topics and moving this forward. I know Nathan has been to events in Geneva and other places where they're talking about how do you create this space inside of industries. And nonprofit is actually in front of many other industries because Fundraising AI figured out right away we were going to have to create our own framework. Unfortunately, regulatory bodies are not picking up the slack on that. So it is just up to industries to figure that out on their own. And with the framework, we've done that. And then with it has been a way to distribute that and other content as well. So yeah, I'm excited.
And I love your call out about regulation. We actually have a session led by Shannon McCracken, who is on our advisory council, and Ann Hollingsworth, but from the Nonprofit Alliance, where they're going to be speaking about the state of resolution or regulation today, the forecast for maybe what that looks like next, or in the coming months and years, and really talking about where nonprofits can have a voice, how nonprofits can advocate for responsible and beneficial AI within the larger body, in the larger picture of overall regulation. So I think they'll do a fantastic job, as they always do, of breaking down some really complex topics and making them really approachable. And that's something that I think all of our speakers are really equipped to do in a unique and proven way. These are folks who are really experts in their fields and really capable of sharing the expertise with all of us, even if we don't have the same backgrounds that they do.
How many speakers are there? I was looking at the list and I was just blown away. There are it feels like there's so many.
Yeah. It is a gallery wall of speakers for sure. And we're incredibly proud.
Or do you want to see my favorite picture up here?
Rolling. Yeah.
Are you ready? Oh, can you see?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We can see your screen.
What are you showing
We're
us?
looking at the speaker list right now.
Look at that, babe. Did you see her? Look at her. Look at her.
You're looking at Floyd Jones right now. I don't know if that's what you're meaning to.
I don't know if this is working the way you wanted it to.
I'm not sure that. I'm not sure it's who you think.
It's Jen. It was Jen.
There it is. Oh, I got it.
Whatever.
I see. Fortunately, no one has to actually listen to me speak, but I will be room hosting, which is going to be incredibly fun, and I will bring lots of caffeine for that.
I would love to hear you speak sometime. I think that would be great.
I think this is me speaking, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Which is why I love it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So the other thing that I feel like it has morphed over time from a what's AI to a here's what it is. Here's how it works for you as a fundraiser. Here is what the future of it is going to look like. Here's what to be aware of. Here are practical tools. Like, it really has diversified into all of these elements for different people that may be, range from resistant to resilient in terms of their use of AI. And I think that that's actually one of the features that's most important. This is, it's not a product event that's highlighting a product. It really is focused on fundraisers.
Yeah. And it's focused on fundraisers, I think, in a really unique way, where we're considering the fundraiser and the nonprofit leader and professional as whole people. So folks who are embarking on some um, new technologies and trying to think about what their work looks like in this new world. And so we've got content for everyone who's looking to lead as an internal champion, folks who are looking to lead, who are leaders in their organization and thinking about how they can build cultures of innovation, yet with guardrails and governance in place. We have sessions actually on recurring giving. We have sessions on monthly giving. We have sessions on annual gosh, what am I thinking right now? I was going to say planned giving, but I meant capital campaigns. So there's lots of content that is broadly applicable, and I think reaches folks who are doing all sorts of work in this fundraising area. This is not just I'm a development, major gifts officer and I'm a fundraiser. This is for all folks who are looking to actually improve the impact of their organizations and use that and expand their reach and services in a way that actually really transforms their fundraising efforts.
I think I feel like, as I've watched this develop over the years, it has charted a course, and I know that you've been part of this, that has kept this in capacity building rather than technology focus, right? And I feel like maybe that's just something I noticed so much, because Human Stack is obviously focused on capacity over tech. And I think that it's so important to understand, if you start with the tech, there's no guarantees you'll get to capacity building. But if you start on capacity, the whole point of capacity is to build out your skills in that tech. So you will get to the tech through capacity. And I feel like Fundraising AI is one of the first organizations to figure that out at scale. And so there's no question there. There's just an observation that is so critical and key. And maybe a thank you for helping to keep that as one of the main points of Fundraising AI.
I was going to thank you as a member of our advisory council, who, as you said, plays a role in shaping and advising everything we do as an organization. But voices like yours, Tim, are ones that help us keep the practitioners in mind, keep fundraisers and nonprofit professionals in mind, and at the core of everything we're doing. I think, like you said, there's a tendency to lead with tools. And one of the things we're trying to do differently at Fundraising AI is to lead with questions and lead with assessments of where we are now. So questions, actual problems that you want to solve through the use of AI, tools and strategies for how you can start to approach some of those new technologies and new workflows. We're really gearing folks to engage with AI in a way that I think solves questions of how to use it, but also when to use it, why to use it, and also when not to. When trust is at risk or misinformation exists, we're providing sessions to help folks navigate some of those hairy parts of AI adoption.
Yeah, and it's a wild ride. AI is just not like any other any other technology that's come before. Like the very roots of the data itself and the organization between a related database and a connected neural network, those are so completely different. And I feel like it has taken a while for us to catch up to what do those differences mean. And so yeah, I feel like that has been super interesting to watch that play out. I like that you lead with questions, because it focuses on curiosity, which I think is the most important competency when it comes to AI, is to be curious. And so, yeah, I appreciate that. And also the focus on responsible use and beneficial use. And I feel like my personal opinion is that the industry is over-indexed on responsible use in a posture of fear, rather than a balanced view of that with a posture of curiosity, right? And I feel like Fundraising AI really is focused on the curiosity and balance between those two. So yeah, I think that's part of what you're going to see in all of the content, because if you're gatekeeping anything, it is a focus on that. Not gatekeeping, but prioritizing.
You've got the in command. It's certainly of that, though. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, how's the vibe coding coming?
I was gonna say, let me show you guys what I got here. So let me talk you through how I got here first. I started with a prompt that talks about like, help me create an interactive decision tree flowchart. I want, like, you're helping them navigate these sessions to maximize their learning and avoid overwhelm, because that's something I think we talk about a lot, Tim, that it can just feel really overwhelming. All of this stuff. I'm gonna keep you guys down here actually. So then sort of like start with like, where are you at? Rant and Nick primary challenge areas, which we'll show here in just a second, and then end with recommendations.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, super fun. And I'm gonna be honest, I like blurted out to another conversation like, I want to be able to do this, like get me a better prompt, because
wait, can you show us how you type again? Sorry, I just want to see that one more time. Like this. Is your keyboard like up, like right next?
I do have an ergonomic keyboard, so my hands do go inward.
Anyway, sorry.
You, Timothy. Anyway, so then I was like, okay, this is dope. I loved what they gave me at first, but then I was like, what if we add like a feature to add your notes? So that way folks could literally have like guided note taking mid, you know what I mean? So they have better takeaways.
Yeah.
So let's test it out. What do you want to do? What's your current AI readiness level, Tim? What do you want?
Oh, okay. As usual, I think I would probably go in the advanced level.
Okay. What is your next frontier? Ethical governance, beyond off the shelf, AI for major and principal gifts, or future trends and disruption?
Future trends and disruption for 200.
This does kind of feel, you're right. This does a little bit feel like that. Look at this. So here's your recommended pathway.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
This is actually hilarious. The 90-day implementation plan. Like, it has any idea. But yeah, think about this. Like so if I were to take my notes and then if I hit print.
All right, I'm putting this on the other screen so I can see this with my old eyes.
Okay, the print.
Going full screen right now. I love this.
The print button doesn't seem to work yet, but that's because this is only round 2 of my testing. But yeah, so let's go back and maybe look through what does it look like on the beginner side, right? So right now I want to look through for small shops. That's a huge one, I feel like. Or Jen, why don't you talk us through, like, what do you think a path would be for some of the more common nonprofits attending the summit?
Yeah.
Beginner, intermediate, or advanced?
I think we have a lot of folks in the beginner and intermediate buckets for sure.
Okay, let's test out both then. So from beginner, what do you think would be a good primary challenge area to show folks? Again, this is all
I'm
just
curious to learn how this is categorized in free and low cost tools, because I think that is always a fun one to dig into. That's what I show up and I want to know these things.
True. So look, we've got our very own Tim Lockie.
This was actually a whole elaborate ruse to highlight.
Wait. Now my question is, hey Tim, that face, is this a session you're presenting?
I didn't know that I'm presenting this.
But are you? I wonder if you are. Did it pull fake?
I think this is a hallucination. If it's not, I do love that session though. So I am down for that if that's what's happening.
Oh my gosh. I kind of hope.
Do not see that in our agenda.
I do not see that in our agenda either.
I think we're making up incredible sessions right now.
I think
okay, well, one, I'm going to save this because these are great ideas for next year. And then I'm going to, thankfully, I have a session cheat sheet. So what I did was I'd asked it to pull from the URL. Clearly, it didn't do that. I like the concept, though. So what I'm going to do is say, replace the sessions that you clearly made up, which I could probably be a little more forceful and say things like, hey, I don't think these are correct. I'd go back and look at the URL. But since I have a cheat sheet that I know is accurate in Excel format, I'm going to actually go redirect that. So check back in.
Yeah,
if you have a question, I would love for you guys to consider.
I mean, I have a point on that, which I think is really important, which highlights two things. One is what you tell it to do or don't tell it to do is just so critical. And two, with vibe coding, like everything else, you're just like trying to hit a quick draft to give you an idea and emerge what you want over time. And that's so important to understand. This technology is not a plan everything in advance. It is an emerge as you see it building kind of technology. So you have to create approaches that are iterative, and that's not a bug unless you're holding an idea that is got to be perfect out of the gate. That is a feature of the way this technology works. You know, for someone that spent so much time in discovery after discovery after discovery session with humans who have a hard time imagining tech, it is so much faster to build a quick prototype and let people reflect off of that. So I see this as a massive feature, not bug, but it is important to understand. So,
well, and it's funny, it clearly pulled some things from it because it
yeah.
speakers.
Yeah.
They just made up sessions for you all, which I find beautiful.
I like that it gave me that session too. Like that is the type of session I would definitely do. So yeah, I like that.
It knows you for
sure.
sure.
Right now.
Yeah. Okay, Sami, before you move on then, I've got two questions for you about the thing that you're doing in the background. Yeah. One is, how did you learn to vibe code, and what is it? What is vibe coding? And then two, what tool of Gemini are you using to do that? So not a lot of time on that, but I think it's just helpful for people to know.
So I learned to vibe code kind of on accident when things like Claude or ChatGPT would pop up with their Canvas or artifact. And then I learned to love it in Gemini, actually, and doing some of these. So look at some of our previous episodes and you'll see our love like for the things that Google can build. And to get there, all I did was I put my prompt right in on Gemini. So I'm on the Gemini website. And then I actually just clicked Canvas as the tool. Sometimes it'll automatically choose that for you. But Canvas is, and we have a couple episodes on Canvas now. But Canvas is that tool where it sort of like can build things in the back end, whether that's coding, whether that's other like deep research gets built and the infrastructure it's delivered to you is via Canvas, reporting, some of that stuff. So you can see like right now, I was like, okay, clearly you made up the session. So then use my cheat sheet, which it's, and so it's writing the code right now. It looks like it's done actually. So I just need to get it back up again. But yeah, Canvas is where I found it. And now I can't make it load. So I'm going to hit refresh because here's what you guys don't know is I'm pretty sure my computer took an absolute, like, I hate Sami on me. And now that's why I keep freezing every time I'm talking and I hate everything.
It's like practicing non-participation right now. It's like, no, we don't like, yeah, right. Uncivil disobedience right there from your computer.
Whatever. Yeah. I did have a question for you guys that I think is something that comes up quite a bit. And while I figure out my situation over here, it'd be a great one for you two to chat about. With the sessions, I love that it is, like Tim said, we don't gatekeep at Fundraising AI. Which I would like to point out, I'm also on the advisory committee, if only to shout out like fellow women leaders, because Tim's not that important.
I agree, and that's a funny thing to say.
That being said, one of the things I get asked quite a bit is, are the sessions available afterward? And I love that they are, but we know there is value in being there sort of as it's happening. And so I'd love for the two of you to sort of like converse about that a little bit and explain why someone should prioritize registering now, showing up, trying to get their day of, and the benefits therein, even if it's just for one or two sessions.
Tim, do you want to start? Or
I can absolutely start. I've got so much, to say about this. Yeah. Humans learn from humans, not from videos. It's why lives feel different than just a podcast or something else. So you're going to feel differently when you're there live and engaging in the comments and throwing things in. I know Sami is absolutely right. If I stop and look at the comments, I am lost because there's so much feedback coming in all the time. Afterwards, I go back and read all of the comments because I am constantly blown away at what people are observing and trying and asking about. And so I learned so much from this event and from the Community Boost events because the comments are so alive with a community engagement feel that, it's like the difference between watching a football game alone in the stands versus watching a football game with everybody else in the stands. Like, they're completely different experiences. So I would say that's one of the big important things. The other is that you're far more likely to go and engage and watch when something is live rather than when you can go after. I think that's when you're doing it over lunch. You're going to hit the 1.5x or 2x and have the speakers sound like chipmunks and get through the content faster. And I feel like that's a way to engage the specific ideas, but you won't get the same sense of community. And as someone who's branding on the human stack, which is the community of humans that work together to accomplish a mission, I just feel like that is the more important element. So that's a few of my answers. I've got even more, but I'm going to stop there.
No, I love that. And I love what you said about humans learning from humans, because in many ways, engaging with chat, like giving us feedback, that's also us learning directly from folks who are attending. What's valuable?
100%.
What's missing? What could be covered in more detail? What is really working for folks? That actually helps us as Fundraising AI, craft content and resources and events that meet people where they're at, but also help us inform the sector more broadly through our advisory council and other networks that we're in, helping folks understand this is what's happening in the sector around AI now, and helping amplify that voice, right? Helping make sure that the things that people are asking for, the things that we want to know more about, we're actually addressing and thinking about those things as we talk about responsible and beneficial AI in fundraising. I'll add a couple things here that I think are my go-to talking points for why to attend live. And one of them is continuing in the vein of learning from other humans. We actually have the ability to do lots of Q&A with speakers. So folks that again, you might have had to pay to attend a session in the past, we actually have them free right there in the session. You can engage with them directly in the chat. You can do Q&A. And many of them actually have lounges. So lounges are a feature that we're offering this year, where after the session, the speaker may be able to go join a lounge, and you can actually sit at a table with them and engage with them live. So it's a very cool opportunity to actually be there in person, be in that community, and have that direct connection to a speaker on a topic that you care about. And I think that is a really unique part of attending live. And then we've got a couple other things that I think make it really valuable. One, if you attend, you get the first access to the recording. So before we release them live, we actually share them with attendees first. We have a giveaway this year where we're sharing coffee and lunches and books from speakers, and really in looking for folks who are engaging, adding value to the conversations. So we're going to be able to.
I'm coming for that.
Yeah. Sami is not eligible. So
pew pew pew.
I need like a wah wah. They actually did have that. I'm gonna get the little like wah wah. They had a mini one of those too.
That should have been a dual pack, like a two.
I agree.
So Jen, pop in next week because you'll see it.
Yeah, no books for Sami is the takeaway I'm getting here. We do also have some really cool discounts. So we have something called the Amplify Kit, which is going to include different tools, different resources that are available free or at a significant discount. We also have a really cool Summit Plus program happening where we're actually offering continuous learning after the summit. So there's a really big discount on that package, and that's really meant to continue the conversation, beyond our 2 days. And then, like I said, really what this does is this lets us know how you're feeling about session, lets us know what's working and what's not, and helps us make this even better for the future.
Well, that's cool. Dang.
Okay, I thought of something else I want to say before it leaves my brain, which happens all the time since I'm ADD, which is that for those development directors who can influence whether their staff goes or not, one way to think about this live versus recording is that reluctant staff are more likely to move to a comfortable with AI position in a community setting, whereas moving from comfortable to engaged or engaged to resilient is going to be a lot more curiosity in the tools and playing around in the tools. So people are going to move you into the comfort zone through a community engagement model, and people are going to move into deeper engagement with AI through the experimentation and use of the tool. And I just think for your reluctant staff, try and get them to this event and then provide them content further on to just continue that journey moving forward. And I think that will probably be a successful way to think about who should go.
Yeah, and we have tons of sessions on culture and organizational structure and humans. Like, we have a ton of sessions on human-centered approaches to AI. And I think what we look for there is to really help folks understand, like you said, they're not alone in this moment. There's plenty of other people who are just embarking or maybe dabbling and maybe not talking about it publicly at their workplace, or starting to think about how they can build governance plans because they're at that stage of their adoption as an organization. So I think all of that is our use cases that we're looking to address. And this year, we've really incorporated a ton of real world examples, a ton of client use cases, and Tim, you're leading a session with Dan on hacks that I think will be really enlightening for folks. I think we start to see a sense of community and a sense of possibility from the summit, opening up people's minds as to what they can achieve.
Yeah. All right, Sami, I feel like you were going to say something and then we cut you off. Are you ready? Do you got something else?
I am. I also just thought of something to add to it, so it's kind of going to be adding while I talk. But I do have one ready. But I was thinking it'd be nice to have like a query spot where you can ask, like, are there sessions on this? And then I'm having it saying, like, if there aren't any, encourage them to email. Is it info@fundraising.ai? Would that work? Or summit@fundraising.ai?
Fundraising.ai is great.
Okay, summit. Because then what they would do is to prioritize the topic for next year's summit is basically.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Cool.
Right.
I might as well. I just don't want the answer to be like, sorry, we don't have one. But while it's building that, for whatever reason, because my computer's doing what it's doing, I had to copy the code over and do it like an HTML viewer. So this is what you would usually see. This is like, if you were to embed this onto your website, this is what you would see. So we are a beginner. Now it's got AI foundations and tools, and then making the case for AI. I need to convince my board and leadership to invest.
Can I just say how cool of a topic that is? We've got like having tough conversations with your board, having tough conversations with your leadership, having tough conversations with not tough conversations, but new conversations with grant makers. We have a session on real donor perceptions. I'm really excited for this angle.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. I want to go to these.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
You're welcome.
I think
it's free to attend, Tim.
Oh, cool. When is it?
Monday and Tuesday, September 15th and 16th. Coming
Where
next
can
week.
I find out more information about it?
Fundraising.ai/summit. You'll see all of our schedule. You'll see all of our sponsors and all of our speakers. Perfect. What else you got for me, Tim?
I mean, I can't think of any other. I'm in the middle of registering right now, so I'm having a hard time keeping up. Sami, this thing is really cool. I like the.
I want to see what this one. So it's building in a search function for me.
Yeah,
because that I think would be even cooler.
Okay, I just noticed the time. Yeah. And so I know that we are going to have to wrap up. I want to ask one last question of Jen Lau, but before I do that, Sami, what's your final thoughts on this Vibe Code web app thing that you've made?
I one, I love being able to show how easy it can be. Like, you just start with an idea and let it go. And I think I love seeing people like Jen even get like, oh, I love this. I didn't even think of, you know what I mean? Like, how many times
should have had this session like 2 months ago?
Seriously though.
If I had known you were going to build this, Sami.
Look, it's just some HTML. We can pop it on your website whenever.
Beautiful.
That was actually my last thing, was like, let's make sure between the Human Stack website and FAI, like we get this navigator out there somewhere, because we built it, it exists, and it doesn't have to be like the FAI approved sessions or whatever, but like, hey, this is something that was vibe coded and you might as well use it if you want to. I can just imagine there's a lot of people that would really appreciate being able to be like, all right, I don't know exactly what to go to, and I can't go to everything. So how do I prioritize? I think it's like, this is awesome.
Brought to you by AI4AnyoneLIVE. Love it. That is amazing.
I now think everybody needs to have one of these for all of their summits and everything.
Yeah, I think so.
I think you have a new product here.
I think that you will see that happening all the time. Yeah, I think that's great. Okay, last question to you, Jen. As you look into the future of AI and drawing from some of your experience, both in the nonprofit sector, in the cybersecurity sector, what are some of your predictions for 2025 to 2026 on where you think AI is going to head, specifically with fundraising?
That's a great question. And frankly, I think there are lots of folks who are maybe better equipped to have that conversation than I am. Really, what we're seeing is a transition, I think, and what we're looking to prompt is that transition from, fear to curiosity to courage. We're looking at moving folks from awareness to adoption, and I think refinement of those skills. And so when I think about, there's lots of folks who can talk about the technical improvements and technological improvements that are going to be happening. What I'm really interested in, and what FAI is really interested in, is being informed and aware and helping advocate and lead those changes, but also making sure that folks are able to join along that journey. So what I think we'll see, and what we've seen so far, is a real proliferation of AI related content, folks who are consulting in AI for the first time, folks who are really coming in and looking to establish some expertise. I think that will continue. I think also what we'll see, and what we hope to see, is organizational wide adoption and folks really tackling that head on, not to make things more complicated and trickier and spend a bunch of time building policies, but really in surfacing some shadow usage, aligning folks around what good principles are, how to manage data, how to maintain donor trust. We're really starting to see that be an emphasis in organizations, and I think that will continue. And thanks to the work that you all are doing at the Human Stack, thanks to the work that a lot of folks in our advisory council and our partnership network, our sponsor network, everyone is really thinking about, how do we take advantage of new technological developments like agentic and show people the use cases there, but also how do we really enable folks rather than just handling the tools? How do we give them the skills and abilities to actually apply those in a way that isn't an individual, but is a force multiplier for organizations?
I love that. And, Sean Olds put something out. I'm on a panel with him as well. And
John's one of the co-founders of Boodle AI, by the way.
Oh yeah, thank you for.
And on our advisory council,
right? Yeah, longtime champion of AI for nonprofits, and was very early into the movement. One of the things that he said is that the future of AI isn't tools; it is leadership, and I think that is so foundational. That enablement starts with unlocking leaders. I've seen Sean do that. I've seen him in action. It is a work of art. Shannon McCracken was the first to tell me, like, watch what Sean is doing on how he approaches this with leaders. It is really, really amazing. So I like that answer. And I do think that when it comes to enablement and adoption, that's a cultural piece, and leaders need to be paying attention to that, seeing shadow usage as your future champions, right? That's who, and really starting to focus that into long-term adoption. So I love that answer.
Great. I'm happy to hear that. I should plug, we have tons of sessions on culture and leadership this year.
Yeah.
So really great examples from large organizations, smaller organizations, and folks who are really looking to build from top down governance policies, and also folks who are iterating, at a lab type level, at a small kind of nimble org within their or nimble team within their organization. And we're seeing people start to prototype and try new things and start to bring that usage out there. So very cool to see the different ways that folks are getting involved with AI and getting their hands a little dirty, and bringing more folks into that conversation.
Absolutely.
Folks, it's Jen Lau. Thank you, Jen, for joining us so much.
Jen Lau,
thank you for having me.
I know. This will not be your last time on Fundraising AI Live. We'd love
It
having
better not
you.
be.
And yeah, and for sure. And then Sami, why don't you wrap it?
I wish I had an rap.
Face.
All I could think of was like, how do I make a rap, like an actual rap, really quickly? And then I realized I wasn't going to be able to. And the last thing I need is the like little clips of me out there trying to rap. So thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Jen, you are absolutely the best. We love having you. We're so excited. Seriously, everybody, even if you're not able to attend more than one session, get your registrations in. Keep a peek out for Tim and I sort of hunting through the sessions. We will definitely be there. You'll see and feel us. And be on the lookout. We'll figure out where we're going to put this Summit Navigator somewhere. So next week, hopefully we'll be going over some of our key takeaways actually from the Summit. So
Absolutely.
It'll be likely another version of this. So super excited to see everybody. And
and pay attention because we will be doing some speaker highlights with fundraising or with AI for Anyone Live over the next couple of days. So
yeah, Tim's going to be doing some LinkedIn lives for some of the speakers and sponsors.
Can't wait. It'll be great.
Check it out.
Very cool.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jen.